Sup, apprentice? A few things to cover since last time we caught up. The biggest story of the year, Hakeem Haas, FKA Payne, has decided to take his talents to South Sydney for 2027. I need a change was what he said, and I believe it. I don't think there's a beat up that's necessary for it. It's just when you feel like you need a change, you need a change. And if you haven't asked yourself that question in the past, I think maybe you may have been comfortable with where you were at, and that's fine. If you can live with that decision, more power to you. But I can sympathize with what Hakeem had gone through in that sense where 10 years ago I said I needed a change, and then I found myself relocating to Townsville the next day. So if I had a chance to ask him a question, it would be, what was that confirmation point for you as to how you knew for sure that's where you wanted to be, that's what you had to do? Other than that, the way the Broncos have handled it, I didn't really like it initially. Just granted and let it go. And then they eventually done that, but then there was a lot of what ifs about the coaches, the whispers of discontent within the playing group, just beat up. And then it was brilliant how Hakeem had come out and clarified it all. So we charge on, as they say. The Lomax and Melbourne situation, some text messages have leaked, and 95% of the NRL fans are in Parramatta's, what would you say, agree with what Parramatta have done or said, or the way they have gone about it, but I'm going to go for Lomax. Don't know why. I'm not a Storm fan or an Eels supporter or a New South Welshman sympathizer. Just think sometimes players just want to make some changes, and it's a bit tricky and a bit rude to say, well, if we're going to give you up, you're going to have to sign this. I know there's that restriction of trade that people have said, but I don't know, it just felt funny, and the fact that there's been so much leaked out in regards to confidential emails and that. The $200,000, $300,000 offers. Yeah, I can see why Para might want one of the three players, but it's a bit harsh too to say, oh, we'll make this swap, because then Melbourne has to say to their players, well, we're going to have to discard you in order to get this player. It was curious, like Lomax didn't want to be there in the end, and it felt like the Eels were happy to let him go and then sign Brian Kelly like a couple weeks later, or I don't know what the time frame was, but it just felt like there was no love loss, and now they're making it this woe was me sort of play. It might be disruptive to their first few games, but Parramatta just had the quality to get through that, and then they got a great coach that can galvanize the lads to come through and just remember what they're there for. And yeah, they could be a top 8 team for sure. Melbourne will press on. They got Bellamy at the helm, and then they got the best spine on paper. So that's all I'm going to say on that, and let the courts decide it. I think it should have a verdict soon. Don't see Lomax playing against the Eels. I'm with that popular opinion there for round 1, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had the Storm jersey for the 2026 season. What else? I'll make some predictions later, but it looks like the select trading cards are going to come through within this month. So I thought I might just open up a few packs just to get through them. So I'm thinking maybe get 4. I'll show you my little area where I stash it. So yeah, that's one back. Do these for. What say you? All right. Was there anything else? Oh, the eligibility as well in regards to the Queensland and New South Wales teams being options for New Zealand English players to feature in the Origin period. I know you don't like it, and NRL is saying it's the modernization of the rules. I think they missed the trick there. If they had used this origin period for New Zealand versus England test match in preparation for the World Cup 2026 and having Samoa and Tonga play at the same time, from a revenue perspective, it could have generated a lot more. I think as well you would have seen whether players wanted to play, or it would have just been better for the spectacle. I don't know about that last point actually in regards to, sorry, I'm a bit under the weather. But what was I saying? Having the players decide which one, if it's going to be representing, for instance, New Zealand or Samoa or Australia or Queensland, New South Wales. It's just getting a bit cluttered. Maybe they should have just tried to have this focus on the internationals, and then next year we could have looked at the modernization of the game. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting how it all pans out. And with these new rule changes, man, it's crazy. And is there anything else? Maybe some Super Coach fantasy chat. Yeah. If you don't, I'll just give you a brief explanation. Super Coach NRL fantasy purpose is to score the most points with a 13-man starting squad and 4-man bench. Everyone gets a budget allocation of the same in the beginning of the year, so and all players are available. Now that all the women have turned off the screen and turned away. It was Valentine's Day and I didn't get to Mrs. anything, but her birthday's in 2-3 weeks, maybe a notch under 4. So what do you think? Should I still get her something before then, or just wait and do a big one for her birthday? It's not a milestone birthday, it's like 41 this year. So I don't know, give me some birthday ideas, if it should be a big one because I missed out on the Valentine's one, or just a few small ones, or just plain on. Love to hear your thoughts, bro. All right, here we go. First pack. Ooh, so keen. Let's see. Alamoti. He should feature at wing. He should be the top try scorer for Penrith. Namangani Wase. He was the top try scorer for the whole comp last year. He'll probably do it again this year. And he'll be exciting in the rugby union. Maybe he'll feature in the World Cup. Surely he should. Surely he would. Money? Yep. It's going to be the Queensland captain again. Xavier Savage. Oh, that's the silver. I'm not sure if he'll get the starting wing, but yeah, he's a gun. For Noah Blake in the Vegas strip. Former Cowboy, who's now Rooster. Probably make 50-odd tackles, so he'll be a super coach option. Luke Brooks playing at the 6. Wonder how they're going to go. I didn't have high hopes, unfortunately, for them. Preston, another year. Surely he's going to get a crack at Origin. They got a lot of players in that second row spot for them. Then New South Wales. He'll probably be featured in a lot of fantasy squads. Schiller, I'm not too sure if he's starting. I don't know what their best back line is. Joey Arrow, he's going to be a gun when Hakeem comes over next year, so they'll probably be the starting front row with Fafita and maybe Duncan and Murray. But I'm probably missing a player there. I can't wait till he comes back. And this is a case of for the Warriors, they miss out on the top 8 because they've got no Mitch Barnett, one of the best front row forwards, and no Luke Metcalf for the first few games in the beginning, and they just missed the cusp. This is why that wild card would be so beneficial for those teams that have been hit by injuries, just to kind of give them a second chance. Anyway, Luai, very nice. Marcelo Montoya, I feel like I get him a few times. Another Kenny card. Skeleton, I've got that one. I've spoken on that one. I'd rather have, I don't know, I'll look at what the new select cards are like, but give it time. Oh yeah, former Titan, now South's second rower, David Fafita. Matty Burton, just done his hammy, probably won't feature in Vegas. Mike Taulagi, surely he's going to be top try scorer for the Cows. Saad, he's a flyer and a speedster. Your recruit, Daniel Saifiti. Selwyn, very cool. He's going to be done for the Dolphins. A lot of people saying top 8. Wade Egan, him and Sam Healy will make a great combo for the Warriors, for that hooking combo. And then Claire's probably a Dalian favorite. I'm going to call it now, Reese Walsh. That's just my Broncos bias. And need I say more? No. Last one. Joe Fahangahu. I think he's gone to Fahangahu, England. I'm not sure whereabouts. Fletcher Sharp. I'll slot him in at 1. Dylan Brown at 6. Kalen Ponga at 7. Phoenix Crossland at 9. Yeah. With Sanders Smith at 14. Tommy Gilbert, he should be exciting. He'll have a full year. The Dolphins team, their front row, especially their forward pack, is looking good. Braden Trindle, going to be curious to see how him and Hines go. I didn't watch the Indigenous game. Just had a few things to do. Shandon Smith, made mention before what I think should happen there. Benny Hunt, Chic. We got a Cowboys checklist. Very good. And Gutho. That's a lot. See, bro. Till next time. Probably open another pack soon. Sooner rather than later.